Welcome back to another FulCom coffee break video. We are nearing that time. In fact, today, the day this video is going live, is the day that all of the post-conferences are supposed to be done. All the evaluations are over, all the observations are finished, all the post-conferences are complete, and it is time between now and the 28th of April for you to start uploading all of your evidence that you want your final evaluator who's going to do your end of the year conference to see. There are a couple of things that I want to mention about that, and one is this quote that I read, let me pull it back up again, from basketball coach John Wooden. John Wooden said, "When you improve a little each day, eventually big things occur. And when you improve conditioning a little each day, eventually you have a big improvement in conditioning. Not tomorrow, not the next day, but eventually a big gain is made. Don't look for the big, quick improvement. Seek the small improvement one day at a time. That's the only way it happens, and when it happens, it lasts." Now, I am, as you are probably well aware, trying my best to lose some weight. And I am down from, I was 235 at my heaviest, and I'm down to 217, and I'm trying to get down between 200 and 205. That's my goal weight. And I'm doing a few things to get that far. One of the things I know that I'm not doing enough, well, in fact, two things I know I'm not doing enough, among several probably. One is I don't drink enough water during the day. I just don't. I don't like to drink water. I find it to be very boring. I need something in it, some kind of flavoring of some kind to be able to drink it. But I'm not going to be able to just say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to drink a gallon of water or a gallon and a half of water when I've only been drinking a couple of 8-ounce glasses throughout the school day. But I could increase just a little. It's the law of 1%. If you increase 1%, what you're doing 1% in stages, eventually you've increased 10% or 20% or 100%. But it's always better to do it a little at a time. So you say, well, what was the other thing, Tim? Well, the other thing is I don't exercise. I just don't. And I find myself sitting too long all day, and I need to be able to get up and walk the stairwells at the school, get a little action to the muscles in my body. But I'm not going to walk 10,000 steps a day right off the bat. I just know I'm not. I've tried that. It doesn't work. But if I'm walking, almost 5,000 steps a day, and I decided to walk 5,500 steps a day, then for a little while I might get to 6,000. So that law of 1% is huge when you compound it. And that's the way it is with the evaluations that you are in the middle of. So when you go to look at the things that your observers have said that you might want to look at improving, you can't improve them all at one time. You can't go from a 3 to a 5 in every area of the rubric at one time. So pick a few things that you know from the observations and from your own experience, a few things that you know nobody has really noticed when they've been in your classroom. So if you say, okay, I do grouping 3 days out of 5, but nobody, out of the 4 times somebody's in my classroom this year, nobody has seen me doing grouping. Then upload some evidence about grouping so it's there, okay? Look at the things that are missing and upload some evidence. If everybody that came through your classroom said, we know that your standards and objectives are great, we know that your presenting instructional content is great, we know that your classroom management is great, you don't have to worry about much in the way of evidence there. You don't have to upload tons of stuff for every single part of the rubric. Find the things that you know have not been seen much or have been commented that need improvement, and look for ways to upload evidence about those things. The other thing that I will warn you about is don't overload your observer. If you upload so many things that it's going to take somebody 2 or 3 hours to comb through them all to give you a score for the year, they are not going to do that, okay? So be strategic. Upload what you need, but don't overload it. And the last thing I'll tell you about it is don't obsess about it. There's a bell curve here. Very few people, if anybody, is ever going to score 1. So the bell curve is from 2 to 5. 2 and 5 are the tails of the bell. 3 and 4 is what's up at the top. And so if you're scoring a 3 or a 4 all the way down through, or maybe you've got 1, 2 or 1, 5, or those kinds of things, you are doing what is totally expected of you to do as a teacher. And there is no need to obsess about this score. There's just not. It's an important thing to do, to have people in your classroom. Let me just be blunt, since I'm retiring. It's an important thing to do, to have people in your classroom who can give you feedback about what you're doing. And it's important that you take that feedback seriously. But at the end of the day, you're just a darn good teacher. Live that. Be that. And don't obsess about whether somebody saw you as a 3, but you thought you ought to be a 4. There is no future in living that way. Get your score, figure out what it is you're going to do to improve for next year, and move on. It's just that simple. We'll see you next time.